For nearly 50 years, few people in NCAA hockey have exemplified success as much as Jerry York. He has taken programs to the top of the hockey mountain, all while maintaining a kindness, integrity, and enthusiasm that sticks with anyone who comes in contact with him.
I think you got to stay even keel, and if you don't like what you're doing, get another job.
York got his start in coaching for the Clarkson Golden Knights in 1972, becoming the youngest head coach in the nation at the age of 26. In 1979, he took over the reins at Bowling Green, leading the Falcons to the 1984 NCAA championship. In 1994, he returned to his alma mater, Boston College, where he had played from 1963 to 67. York ushered in a new era, winning 3 conference titles in his first 7 seasons, while also taking the team to 2 national finals. The Eagles had not won an NCAA title since 1949, but all that changed with a 3-2 victory in the 2001 Frozen Four Finals.
In he goes! He scores! Chris Galanos wins it for BC!
Under York, Boston College has become one of the most successful programs in NCAA hockey. In his 25 seasons at BC, York has won 9 Hockey East regular season titles, 9 Hockey East tournament crowns, 9 Beanpot titles, and made 12 NCAA Frozen Four berths, winning 4 championships. He is one of only 3 coaches in NCAA history to lead 2 different schools to national titles. In December 2012, York became the all-time winningest coach in NCAA hockey history.
Congratulations, guys, and honored to coach, and let's keep getting better and better.
Through positivity and an unwavering faith in his players, York has built a foundation that allows his players to succeed at whatever they do. And it is because of this success that Jerry York becomes a welcome member of the Hockey Hall of Fame in the Builder category.
To present Jerry York's plaque, 2009 Hall of Fame inductee Lou Lamoriello.
Parting words from Lewis. You got to go speak now, Jerry. All right, Lou, I will. You know, one of the advantages I think of, and I didn't realize it until I came to the Toronto to accept this award, is that you make some really new friends very quickly. And I like to reach out to Ned and Haley and Sergey, Guy, Jim, and tell you how pleased I am to not only be in the class with you, but I made some new friends here. And it's interesting, Jimmy's son and my grandson are coached with an 11-year-old group, the Arctic Foxes in Pittsburgh. And so good to see James here and my grandson, Brendan, Colin. They're pretty good friends there. You know, I'd like to first just, you know, Father Penner is our chaplain at Boston College, and he's a terrific priest and an inspiration to all of us. And he's always talking to our players about probably the biggest problem in today's society is a lack of gratitude. People just aren't grateful anymore. You know, and it has them stand up and talk about, you know, what are you grateful for? You know, and the player will have to start thinking about, hey, my dad started me in hockey, or but they become, hey, I got to be grateful. And I not only want to thank the selection committee of the Hall of Fame, but really tell you how sincerely grateful I am to have an honor like this, something I've never dreamed of, but to come here to the Sacred Hall here and be acknowledged as in the Hockey Hall of Fame, it's just terrific. And I saw a quick picture of Wayne Gretzky and myself on the golf course. And I kept on asking for tips from Wayne, and he just said, just swing hard, Jerry, and they're out of bounds all the time. But it was great to play with Wayne at that time. I want to take this special opportunity again to thank my wife, Bobby. 49 years and counting. I think it's going to last. But again, she's been the general manager from Potsdam to Bowling Green to Boston College. It's been just great to have you with me. And my daughter Laura's here, and my son Brendan, and his lovely wife Lacey. So it's great to share things with people, and I like that an awful lot. I'm also very pleased that we have 12 of my former assistants here tonight. And I've always, people have asked me, what's your greatest attribute as a coach? Is it X's and O's? Is it this? It's just picking the right people to be an assistant coach. And I know Jimmy knows that, talking about Sully and some of the scouts he's hired over the years. But I've had a great string of success with my assistant coaches. 3 in particular. My very first hire was Bill O'Flaherty up at Clarkson. And we really, I was 26 years old. I almost feel sorry for some of the players. I was just cutting my teeth there at Clarkson, and had to learn from that. But then Mike Cavanaugh is now the coach at the University of Connecticut. He put up with me for 18, 19 years, and all my quirks. And then Greg Brown, who was with me for 14 or 15 years. And I'm a diehard Bruins fan growing up in Boston. But, he's with the Rangers now as assistant coach, and I kind of got to root for the Rangers a little bit in all games without playing Boston. How does this all start? How does this journey start? Everybody's different. I could have been, I was thinking I was going to be a teacher, a lawyer, whatever. But I got a call from Harry Sinden when I just graduated from BC. And, I had a pretty good career at BC. And Harry said, we have an opening spot up at Oklahoma City. We have a training camp in September. We'd love to have you come up to try out for our team. And I said, geez, this is my chance. I trained hard all summer, and I'm going to be a pro. And I get up there, and after 4 days of double session, I remember Murray Davidson was the coach, and we were just outside of London, Ontario. The big club was in London. We were in St. Mary's, and Wayne Cashman, Ace Bailey, God rest his soul, there were my line mates there for a couple of days, and after about 4 days, it says, this isn't going to work. I'm nowhere near this talent here, and it reminds me a little bit now of that PGA when their tagline is, hey, these guys are good. And when I got there, I said, hey, this is, so that kind of, I'm not going to play in the NHL. So if I like coaching, I got to either be a ref, and Bill McCreary, I was talking to him yesterday, I didn't want any part of that. So I said, well, I'll go into coaching. And I got a chance to go to Clarkson, and I don't think it's buildings, I don't think it's campuses, and I don't think it's where you are. It's the people that you get involved with that make a place special. And our first recruit was from the Levac area of Northern Ontario, Dave Taylor, and I remember going up to visit with his family, and the dad worked in the nickel mines, and we had to wait until he had a late shift, and when he came back, he was covered with soot and everything, and he says, we sat down at the kitchen table, he says, hey, Jerry, I want my boy to get an education. He's not going to come to work in the nickel mines with me. And, that was, when I think of Clarkson, I think of Dave Taylor and the Triple Crown line. And Bowling Green are similar, I walk on the campus there, and I got Brian McClellan and George McPhee waiting. They just finished their freshman year there, and they stayed, which I liked. And I think of Rob Blake, Hall of Famer, and just the people that I had a chance to coach there. And at Boston College, and I spent 7 years at Clarkson, 15 years at Bowling Green, and I'm just in my 26th year at BC. But it's, I think of Brian Giunta, I think of Johnny Gaudreau, and so I just love coaching. But I love the people we coach. We're not coaching pucks, and we're not coaching, against this person or that. We're coaching people, and I've had some great experiences with them. We all need mentors. And, when I was coaching, I always looked for the help for different people. And 3 Hall of Famers really, I think, influenced my career. First was Herb Brooks. He asked me to come out to Colorado Springs in the summer of 1980 to help select the U.S. Olympic team for 80. And I just loved his passion, his emotion, and You know, then Bob Johnson was someone that I really talked to a lot too about positivity and coaching and loving coaching. And I got to know him because I had his son was my grad assistant, and I remember we won the national championship when Peter came, and Bob called right afterwards and says, "Jerry, what's the best thing you just did?" Well, I says, we're gonna go have a parade downtown Bowling Green, or maybe go to the White House. He says, no, Jerry, you got to sit down and think, hey, how'd you win it? You know, look at your intangibles. How, you know, what type of play did you recruit? What was your physical size and strength? What was your hockey sense? How did you mold that team? And that'll be a blueprint, and do it now, so that'll guarantee that'll help you win other national championships. And it certainly was terrific advice from Bob. Then Lou Lamoriello, you know, it's always been I almost had to work for Lou. You know, I haven't been fired all these years, which is great, and maybe that's the decision not to go to Providence with Lou. Maybe I've kept my intact, not getting fired. But Lou and I really loved each other as people and player and coaches, and I'd gone against him at Providence when he was coaching the Friars, and I just loved his details, attention to different things, and so I think those three Hall of Famers were kind of my mentors going through. I also had a Jesuit, Father Joe Shea, that I had 8 years of. I was Jesuit high school, Jesuit college, and I remember him telling me about, you know, just as a young puppy, Jerry, our motto is men and women for others. And you've got to look at helping other people, sharing. It's not all about Jerry York. And, you know, it kind of gets drummed into me, and I think I want to thank Father Joe Shea for doing that. My wife's counting the clock. You got 6 minutes. College coaches, you know, and I really had some great experiences and great challenges. When I was out west, it was always Ronnie Mason at Michigan State. It was Red Berenson at Michigan. And, you know, we'd go at each other, and we all had good teams. And I learned from those coaches. Coming back east, Dickie Umili at New Hampshire, he was a guy that I had to go head-to-head with, and very innovative, very competitive with me. But the guy was Jack Parker. You know, we had 19 years. I coached against him for 40 years at different schools, Clarkson, Bowling Green. But once I get to BC and BU, it's like, I was talking to Jimmy, it was like the old original six. It was Detroit and Toronto. It was Montreal and Boston. Well, this was BC, BU in college, and it was like those rivalries. And, you know, that brought the best out of both of us. And you've got to have rivals, guys. You know, wherever you are, it's got to be, you need one team or one company to really push you. And I thought with Jack and myself, probably after 19 years, 40 years, it was dead even. So, and he was a terrific competitor for us. I'd like to just really talk about the state of our game. I think we're right now, hockey I'm talking about, we're at the gold medal standards. We've done an incredible job looking at it. It starts up top. You know, you look at the NHL and the job that Gary Bettman and Bill Daly have done with leadership and character and pushing everybody in the right direction. And then, of course, it comes down to USA Hockey. You know, and Timmy Kelleher, a neighbor of mine, actually grew up in Belmont, not quite Watertown, but close enough. And he's leading USA Hockey to, you know, really newer heights. And I think Tom Rennie with Hockey Canada is an old friend of mine. And I think those two organizations drive youth hockey and amateur hockey, and they're doing a great job with their guidance. I think in the college game, we have 6 commissioners, and they're our leading, you know, driving forces, just like Tom and Gary and Pat Kelleher are. But I think we're in great shape. You know, in Hockey East, we have, I think, the best of them both. We have Joe Battaglia, our commissioner. Dan Shack, he's the head of officials that spent a lot of years in the NHL. So that's where I think we're heading. We're in a great spot. You know, Lanny sent me a note the other day when I was leaving. He said, I have to read it to you. And I owe this guy because it was late night with Jimmy Kimmel, but it was late night with Lanny McDonald last night. I was sound asleep. He came in with the Stanley Cup, put it right in my bed, and I woke up to the Stanley Cup. And I had a long travel day. I was tired, Lanny. But Lanny says, hey, welcome to the Hall. It's a great team. Yes, indeed, Lanny, it's a great team. Thank you very much.